I wasn't gonna go to Michelle's club, but I ended up on Michelle's club. So, all right, we're gonna take it quick on a general session here. We're gonna do a quick recap from what we did yesterday. From the first thing we shared with you guys was the framework of PPP. What do people come to PPP for? A lot of you here are starting to understand the framework here, the purpose of this community. You're starting to understand why people are getting transformation on a smaller scale because they're not getting the same when it's a very large community and they want that closer touch, which is where people like me, Celine, come in and we provide that additional. You know, there's not many people out there that's providing that additional, be honest with you, because they don't want to put in the work, right, Celine? It does require extra work, right? So now, another thing too, we went over when we started going to the VIP, right? Is we went over terminology, definition, understanding what a real 2-hour workday looks like, the difference between working in the business, working on the business, right? And anybody remember what ESCA stand for? Anybody? All right, emotions. Y'all remember emotions, right? Struggle,
Clarity.
and then action. Correct. That's correct. That's correct. I'm gonna tell you guys, ever since I used that strategy and include the 5 items, I know the one person who knows the 5 items by heart is Martha. Knows it's a non-negotiable, right? So your 5 items is your hook, your intro, your pain point, your solution, and your call to action. Okay. So when you combine those 5 items and then you combine the ESCA strategy, you should always have a pretty decent content. And I mean content that converts, content that draws engagement. Okay. I haven't had no problem, you know, and I think we're doing pretty good. What you're going to learn from Christina today is Christina doesn't even use Chat GPT. All her content is natural. Literally. Her number one friend, her best friend, is TikTok draft. She doesn't keep less than 200 drafts inside of her draft. Can you imagine that, guys? She's going to share with you. I've learned some amazing stuff from Christina. I don't use TikTok like that, but you can do the same thing on YouTube. Is you keep your content under unlisted. And then when you're ready to make it public, that's when you make it nice and neat, right? In the whole 9 yards. And then that's when you post it, right? You could do the same thing. You could keep numerous videos under unlisted. It's the same thing as keeping them draft on TikTok. No different. Even Facebook and Instagram, same thing. They have draft. You can keep stuff in draft, right? But to me, it's fascinating that she doesn't do less than 200 drafts. That's powerful, guys. That's powerful. And then I went and asked Tim. Tim does 300 drafts. What does that tell you, guys? There's a common denominator here, right?
They're committed. They're prepared. And if an event arises that they're not going to be able to post content, they have stuff in drafts they can just quick. It won't take but a second to do. And then get back to whatever's going on.
Here's the reality. Let me translate what you just said, Denise. How hard is it to click 3 times in an hour's time? That's how you're able to generate 3 content in an hour because it's already drafted. Only thing you're doing is checking the final details. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
That's all you're doing. You don't have to create a video. The video is already there, right?
But you have to create the draft in the first place. I'm not familiar with drafts in TikTok, but they had to record them, right?
You have to record the videos, but you just leave them in draft.
Yeah.
Got it. So they're just like raw data, right? And
Yeah, same thing.
just pull it up.
If you want to get more technical and you learn how to use Descript, you can put all your video in Descript ready to post.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter what platform you use, because you can take the video from Descript and put it on any platform you want. But you can have it ready right there. So if you dedicate X amount of time to just do content and hit record, like it took me 30 minutes to record 6 videos because I forgot to do the recording on VIP. So it took me 30 minutes to do those 6 videos, and my VA right now, RG, is editing all of them. Okay? So this is what you got to do sometime. Down the road, you make good money. You want to hire a VA? Have a VA prep all your videos. RG does 75% of my videos. That's right. So, RG does 75% of my videos. That frees my time up. For me, it's worth every dollar. My time is very valuable. If you're trying to do everything yourself, you won't have enough time in the day to do it. There's a reason why Michelle O'Neill hired Celine. Celine fulfilled a lot of things that Michelle don't care to do right now. But she got to trust the person who's doing it. Does that make sense?
Mm.
That's what virtual assistants are for. It's a beautiful thing. But what is the first thing you need to do? Learn how to convert so you can generate some currency. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Without currency, you wake up at 3 in the morning. You ask yourself, what's keeping you up at 3 in the morning? It's stress, guys, stress, right? You don't want to end up in that situation. So what do you got to do? You got to learn how to get on the bicycle. You got to learn how to stay on the bicycle. You got to learn how to make the bicycle move. So that's what you got to learn how to do, right? In conclusion of yesterday, right, we had a one short story, a bridge story, and an identity anchor, which we're going to be looking at today. If you don't have it on the Word document, I recommend you have it on a Word document so it'll be easier for everybody and we can move along quicker. Now, what are you going to get today? Today, you're going to learn how to take those 3 items and create batch content. First, we're going to create the framework for the first day to make sure that it looks the way we like it. Because if they can't get the first day right, what makes you think they can get the rest of the week? So you got to get the first day right the way you like it. Because what is the purpose of chat? Anybody know? It's to help you identify the trigger words. Trigger words. Anybody not know what trigger words? Trigger words are the words that will help AI categorize your videos, regardless of the platform. You still need to get categorized. And what does that mean? It's telling the platform who to send your content to. So if your content is not categorized, your content is not being sent. Does that make sense, guys? Because they don't know who to send it to. So, very important you understand those basics. Everybody good so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. While we wait for Christina, does anybody have any questions since we didn't get a chance to do a whole lot of Q&A yesterday? Because I think everybody here is VIP anyway. What was
I'm
that?
sorry, I'm heavy on my phone because I have to walk these dogs that are not barking through our whole session.
Okay. All right. Anybody got questions?
Yep, you did.
Man, for broken English, it's not too bad, huh? Yes. All right.
Good job.
All right. So far, are you guys pretty clear on how this is going to help your content?
The community.
When the workshop is concluded tomorrow, the one assignment you're going to get is monitor the data for the next 7 to 30 days of your video. That is how you know if your content improved or did not improve. And if you need to tweak something, let's say after 7 days, now you know how to tweak the prompt. You have the prompt. So you know how to tweak the prompt until you get your message nailed down. That was the whole purpose of this workshop. Okay? Because this is the part that is not really being taught. Not because no one wants to teach it, it's because we're not able to do things unless it's a smaller scale group. I don't see myself doing this with 1,000 people on a call. You can't, because I had this discussion with Celine's group yesterday, right? You got to develop people within your own community. Otherwise, people are going to become dependent of you. So you got to teach people how to become independent of you. That's when you got something going. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
They need to be the CEO of their own business.
Well, the CEO is one thing, Denise, but you can be a CEO all you want to be, but if you don't know what to do, what are you a CEO of? Yeah, your name is on paper, but you can't bring cash in. How long are you going to be a CEO? You got to be able to break down the income producing activities and making sure that your income producing activities are converting. Welcome to the call, Luann. It's good to see you today. All right. Awesome, guys. So, just a quick housekeeping. You guys are doing a good job with the cameras on. Okay. This is going to be very important because if you want to get the coaching from Christina, it's only the least respect we can do is do eye to eye contact. Does that make sense, guys? Right?
Yep.
We don't want Christina to be talking to the wall, right? We don't want to do that. I wouldn't feel good, and I don't think she would feel good about it either. So that way, we keep the call really good. Okay? Who's the first time in our workshop right now? First time on our workshop? How do you guys like it so far? You guys are okay to unmute? I'm okay.
Talking to the first timers.
Yeah. First timer.
Yeah, this is my first workshop ever with you, and it's cool.
All right. Good. What did you get the most out of?
And I still need to learn a lot.
I got news for you. If the learning doesn't stop for Michelle, I guarantee you the learning won't stop for you.
I like the learning, and I like seeing different perspectives from different angles because I take a little bit from each person, and then it helps me be a better leader for my people.
Here's the first thing you got to understand. In the community business, in the people business, couple words you got to eliminate out of your dictionary. First word that you eliminate out of your dictionary is the word my. You replace that word with our, O-U-R. You remove the word I and replace that word with we, like the French, oui, oui. So, why is that important? You come across as a team player rather than a dictator. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Nobody wants a dictator. Okay? If they want a dictator, they go find Hitler. Video.
I was going to say something else, but I ain't going to say it.
Gonna say he is gone. They're looking for Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin. No.
So that's how
Whoever
it
the
goes,
major
guys.
America candidate is.
Okay. Maria, what did you get out of it? I know you're one of our first timers.
Just a new concept on marketing. And I guess that's the biggest thing for me is learning a new way to market and learning the right way to market and getting over myself. Today I was on the phone recording videos, picking up the phone, recording stuff. Some of it had to do with the community. Some of it had to do with legacy. I was just doing it.
The most important is having fun doing it. Not feeling like you're doing it because if you don't do it, it's going to come back and hunt you. If you do content under that pressure, the people who listen to you are going to feel it too. They're going to feel like you're under pressure. Nobody wants to buy from a desperate person.
I know that from working with actors. I tell them, if you walk in that audition room and you're desperate to get the part, you are never going to get the part. Because
Right.
they can smell the desperate on you when you walk in the room. It's the same with getting in front of the camera. I'm not afraid to, I mean, I've talked in rooms of thousands of people, and that doesn't bother me. It was just the camera thing, but now I'm over that. Like whatever. This is me. This is who I am. Not Michelle. I'm not Celine. I'm not Rich. I'm not Kim. I'm Maria.
That's right. Thank you for all the emojis, guys.
Sure.
I love emojis. If you don't know
You
that by
know.
now in our community, I'm like an emoji freak. But Pamela, it's the first time you're with us. Tell us a little bit about what's on your heart.
Yeah. Wow. I just am amazed, first of all, at what you have taught yourself, what you have learned, what you have implemented in the last year and a half or year. It is astounding. It almost takes my breath away. And then I'm going, okay, I don't have to get in because tech is still a place where I don't feel very confident yet, but I see that you've mapped out a really wonderful process. And I can appreciate the way that you are putting this together, that it's about when we work together, we all rise. And so I'm wrapping my head around that. And I'm just now opening up community, just now starting YouTube. And I'm not in legacy, but I do hope to open the door for others to get there. So overall, just like, oh, wow. And a very deep appreciation for what you have put together. I know
We have a lot of people in our community that don't have legacy. I tell the people in our community, if you reconnect with somebody in our community, they don't have legacy and they can relate to you, make it your customer. I got no problem for it. And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, Kim is crazy.
And
No, I don't mind. Because at the end of the day, they're going to benefit from the community one way or another. Does that make sense, guys? So you can't think small. You got to think big, right?
Mhm.
You got to think big. And in order to think big, you have to be willing to give. You can't just take all the time. You got to be willing to give.
You got to give to the well before you can take from the well.
That's right.
Seven-figure earner told me that one time.
One big project that I'm working on right now with my VA, we're on track to release it in the second quarter of this year, is simplify the tech part. If I told you you could have a fully edited video in literally 6 clicks. 6 clicks. How long does it take you to click 6 times?
Less than 6 seconds.
Right.
Guys,
So
it'll
I
take
Tell
mean,
that
you
VA you want it done in one.
it'll take you longer to wait for the
Mhm.
platform to finish the request. Does that make sense? But literally have your video edited, full motion, all animation, everything. 6 clicks. And that's currently being tested right now.
Awesome.
If you don't know me by now, I love simplicity. How would you like to know you can customize a thumbnail in less than 8 clicks? Like literally have a thumbnail that looks like stunning converting. Right? Those are kind of things we're working on. Why? People need simplicity in their life. Right? And rule number 1, we don't use any tools that you cannot get your return on your ROI. I will not use that tool. Actually, I take it back. I got one tool that we use to download videos where you remove all the watermarks and everything, right? So I believe that tool is like $9 a month or something. Martha, do you remember the price of that tool? This is Visa's downloader, but I think it's like I think it's like $9 or something like that. But that's the only tool that we have in this platform that you don't earn an affiliate on. Okay. But it's probably the easiest tool to get a video down and strip it down with no logos, no watermarks. You literally can take it from anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It don't matter. Even LinkedIn. Those are valuable tools. There's not a day that goes by I don't bring a video down. We'll teach you how to strip a video, take the same content, personalize it to you, and make it sound like you. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you don't have to break your brains on trying to do something that works. If it's already working, why do you need to recreate the wheel?
I just took a Facebook theme workshop and they showed you how to do that. And I was like, what?
Nice.
I was like, this is interesting. And people are doing very well on just grabbing other videos and
It's nothing
putting them on
new.
their cream page.
It's nothing new. It's being done for the last 3 decades. Ever since social media has been around, this is nothing new. It's knowing how to do it the right way.
Mhm. What
First,
is
you
that
got to
play?
understand. You got to understand what is the definition between using copyright content versus not using copyright content. Copyright means somebody owns the rights to it, and when you used it, you made absolutely no changes to it. How do people get away with the copyright part? You can use the same song, but you got to change the speed. When you change the speed, it's no longer copyright. It becomes new content. Even if you change it by 0.25, that's why you got to learn the rules, right? Unfortunately, you got to learn how to play by the rules. This isn't the one that you say the rules are made to be broken. No, not here. You got to learn to
They
play by
made to
the
be
rules.
bent.
Yeah, you got to play by the rules and know how to play by the rules, but beat them at their own game.
Mhm.
You got to learn how to beat them at their own game and make sure it's legit. Okay? So that's where that comes in. It's easy to take a viral video that's on the verge of going viral. You got to be able to ride the wave. If you take a video that's already reached 15 million views, it's probably saturated. But if you see a video that went like 500,000 views in less than 6 hours, probably a good thing to catch the wave. This is for my TikTok people. On YouTube, you're going to learn to do that with long form. That's where you get your watch hours. This is how you build your hours. The difference between someone monetizing on YouTube and not monetizing is never the number of subscribers. It's because of the watch time.
Mm.
The average person who monetizes a YouTube channel has somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500 subscribers, where you only need 1,000. It's because they needed more watch hours. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right? You can Google it. You can do whatever you want.
Comes down to the watch hours.
Yep, watch hours. That's the hardest part of the process. But when you catch on to the strategy, and that's again, strategy, okay? Not tragedy. Y'all supposed to smile. I need to change my jokes. Hold on.
Yeah.
So when you catch on it, it becomes like clockwork. Perfect example, Wendy, right? So she caught on to the strategy. So what is she doing now? She's riding on the strategy. Does that make sense, guys?
Mhm.
That's it. Okay? So with that being said, I'm pretty sure Christina is about to come on. She's finishing up a live. But anybody has any last minute question? So we got Celine, yes, it's your first time. You want to share with your heart a little bit?
Yeah, I'm really loving it. I love the fact that you're doing more implementation. I like how everybody yesterday walked away with their I held bridge and anchor. I love that. I loved how you went back in and you kind of analyzed everybody's statements and you gave your input, which I really liked that too. It takes a lot of time, so I appreciate you doing that. I just love how everybody's interacting, and I do like all your little slideshow in the back. The little fair and the lake and all that's pretty cool.
It's all
Yeah.
marketing. It's all marketing. The only
I love it.
time that I've been asked to be remove the background is on an Eric Worre event.
Ooh.
They don't want you to do any self-promotion, so they ask you to remove the background. But that's the only place that I've ever been asked to remove it.
It's been great, and I love how everybody's interacting, everybody's putting in their input, and it's just been a really good workshop, and I'm grateful that you invited us and that you did some special stuff for my community. I thought that was very awesome too, so I'm loving it. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see Christina as well. I've been wanting to have her in my community too, so this worked out perfect. So now I'm like, perfect. Anybody who wanted to join can now be and can now see the workshop because you put a lot of effort into it. I'm loving it.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to have to go to Luann first. We're going to go to Luann being here the first time. And I always say the best for last. Okay? So you guys can probably figure out who the best for last. But go ahead, Luann. You can share a piece of your heart.
I've appreciated what I've caught with my regular business. I'm either having to leave early or I get here too late. I'm looking forward to catching up with the replays, but I appreciate all the insight and the knowledge that you're sharing with all of us.